everybody, welcome back to my studio. It's a bright, blustery spring day out there, so I'm quite glad to be in here because it is blowing a hoolie out there a bit, but it's lovely and sunny and it makes everything so much more cheerful, doesn't it, when the sun comes out? The daffodils are blowing in the breeze and spring is coming on apace, which is just lovely because although it's very muddy out there, which means you have to wear your wellies all the time, rain is good, everything that comes is good. But I will be glad to have a little bit of more warm weather and a bit of, more of this sunshine is lovely. It just fills you up with joy, doesn't it? So here I am sitting in my studio talking to you. A very warm welcome to you, especially if it's your very first visit here. Thank you. I so enjoy all your comments. It's great to chat to you. If you've got a question you want to ask me, please do so. If you want to tell me what you're doing, please, it's lovely to hear from you. And if you've got a comment on what I'm doing, even if it's where you think I'm going wrong, in inverted commas, it's great. I just love it. It's like having banter. It's as though you're in the studio with me and we're discussing what's going on, and I think that's just great to do. Had a very busy weekend, currently clearing out my dad's house after he passed away last year, end of last year, and I don't know if any of you have had to do that, but it's quite a job, I tell you. They didn't really have a chance to clear out their house and have a proper retirement really, because my mum got Alzheimer's, which if anybody's had experience of that, it's quite a thing to deal with. And it meant they didn't really, sort their house out as they might have wished. But anyway, what else made me realise is that yet again, spring is here and I kind of want to do more clearing out. I don't know what it is. I think the sunshine comes in through the windows, which makes you want to wash them first of all, kind of anyway. Not so much that I actually do that, but it kind of makes you, I think it's like shining a light on your life and going, well actually what do I want to leave behind me at some point? What else do I want to clear out from my life that I'm not using or that somebody else could use, and what could be recycled and reused? I mean, obviously down here I am reusing fabrics all the time. That's a really big part of what I do. I really love that I take things from charity shops and chop them up. And obviously they would be sold to somebody else. If I didn't buy them, somebody else would buy them and wear them. But I'm choosing to turn them into art, and I think that's really cool. So yeah, I've got the urge to start clearing out again, even though I've got much less in the house than I used to have, and I know still there's things down here that I could be doing as well, tidying and sorting. But in the meantime, I'm down here enjoying myself, having some fun with my fabrics. I'm really excited that we've kind of created this little sample. I don't know where it's going to go, I don't know where it's going to take me, I don't know what's going to come out, and that's the excitement and the adventure. So I'm glad to have you with me on this adventure, and I think what we're going to do now is go across to my I was going to say sewing machine, no, it's embellishing first. We're going to embellish again this week, and if anybody wants to know, my machine is a baby lock. It's a baby lock with 12 needles, and that's what I've used for quite a number of years now. They're a bit more of an expensive machine to use, but as far as I'm concerned, they're well engineered and they're a workhorse, and I'm not advertising them, but for me personally that's what's worked. And I think if you want to try one out, see if you've got a friend who's got one, ask if you can borrow it, have a go, see what you like, see whether something with a fewer needles might be fine for you. You might be wanting to just do delicate additions to work. But I have to say that the Baby Lock's been a great workhorse for me. It's done a brilliant job. So, but as I say, I'm not advertising anything. You don't have to have an embellishing machine, but I just choose to use that and I find it really helpful in my work. So anyway, having said that, let's go. I've got a pile of fabrics waiting. Let's go and get embellishing. Okay, so here we are with my beautiful embellisher, ready to rock and roll. Got the fabrics sitting here. I've put them into little baskets just to try and keep them in single colours for now. I know by the time I finish this piece, they'll all be mixed up in a big old muddle, but we're going to get going with my machine now. Okay, so you can see that I've made a start, and for those of you who haven't seen an embellisher before, this is what it does. The top fabric fibres just get meshed with the fibres of your base fabric, and that's what holds the pieces on. And obviously if you make a mistake, not that one would ever make a mistake because there's no such thing as a mistake, and there's just something you want to change, something to do differently, I just pull it back like that, and you can move it around, you can take it off. It's such a lovely, slow process, this. Now, obviously, if you know exactly what you want to be doing, you know, you could have a really big piece of fabric, but what I'm choosing to do is use little pieces like this. I think it adds a bit more texture to it, and it gives me the scope. So if I wanted to put a different colour next to it, I could be putting that in there, you see, and then I could be putting this piece on top of there and mixing and mingling them a bit more. But it seems at the moment as though I want to do a big piece of pink. So I'm just using the same fabric. I don't know where I'm going with this, I've absolutely no idea, but I just love this gentle process. It's not quite as hypnotic as doing my sewing free machine embroidery, but it is lovely, and I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm just thinking about, ooh, what colour shall I put on next? So I think I'll just carry on doing this, and I will show you from time to time where I've got to. Okay, so I've got sort of two shades going on now here. I've got this sort of darker cerise and this pinky colour, and I'm going to add a little bit of this, which is kind of, I don't know what colour you call it really. I'm going to put this on here. Now this is a slightly thicker fabric. I don't know if you can hear that, that's making a louder noise. So when I have fabrics like this, I just go really slowly and gently. Because I don't want to break any needles. Obviously the finer the fabric, the easier it is for the machine to push through it. I think you can see now this is growing, and the colouring is getting like all mixed up here. I've got the different shades of pink coming in, and it's just happening quite naturally. I'm just, you know, putting each piece down and seeing where it's going to go, and I'm putting these funny little pieces. This is this funny scarf fabric now, which has obviously got some gaps in it, but that seems to be okay. And by the time I've stitched over it, who knows what it'll look like. It's quite strange to work with because it's very holey, but I'm having fun putting it on. It's very nice and easy to embellish. So I shall just keep going, and we'll see where we get to. It's quite exciting. I'm loving the way the colours are all mixing in together, and it's taking on this very broad sweep of colour, and who knows where it's going. And I just love it when you get a piece of organza under your embellisher, because it really scrunches it up. Makes the surface really nice and textured. I mean, obviously I've got a little hole there, so I need to put something on top of there. Let's see, let me put that bit on there. Just trying to find the right sort of bits. Tell me where you want to go, girls. That piece on there. What I love about my embellisher is it's so flexible. You know, you put things on, you take things off, you layer things up, you can add things on top, and it just keeps going, and it keeps mixing and blending, and I just love it for that. This piece might go on here next, I think. So I'll keep going with this and I'll show you it when I've got the surface covered, I think. Or wherever the next stop is. Who knows? I never quite know where I'm going to stop and start and show you which bits. So I'll just keep going with this and we'll see where we get to. What I'm really loving about this is that I'm just not in control of this. I'm just letting the pieces kind of show me where they want to go. So we're getting different shades, for example, of this pinky stuff. I've got a very white shade and I've got a slightly pinker shade. So that's kind of coming into the mix here now, this very pinky sort of colour. Now, I'm just letting the colours develop. I'm letting the paint, which is these fabrics, just tell me what wants to go where. Okay, so this is what it's beginning to look like. It's got quite a rough texture because I've just really roughly put the pieces down and you can see they're all overlapping each other. It looks very messy at this stage, but I'm loving all the pinks and I'm loving the way it's all just sort of come together. But I was beginning to get a little bit concerned that it was just being the pinks and nothing else was coming in. But I'll show you if I just move you along a little bit. Aha, look what's coming in. So you can see we've got this lovely mustard colour coming in now, this very vibrant contrast to the pink, so I'm quite excited by that. I was, as I say, beginning to get a bit concerned that we were just going for pink, 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 and that wasn't going to be very exciting. So I'm going to get some of these mustardy colours put down now, which, you know, I'm not sure where it's going, as I say, it's just exploring. So I'm just going to keep putting these little yellowy bits on. And you can see we've got gorgeous sunshine this morning. It keeps coming and going, so filming's a little bit erratic, but I don't really want to close the blinds all the time because it's so lovely to see. Okay, so let's see what we've got going on so far with this, okay? There we go. It's a bit random, it's a bit rough looking, it's very much boom 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 boom. It's like somebody who does oil paints, I think, and they've just gone splodge 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 and get all the colours down as a base. I'll show you what it looks like on the back. It's mostly pink, obviously, apart from this little yellowy corner down here, which I think is rather nice. And I don't know where it's going next, guys, honestly. You'll have to let me know what you think of it so far. Would you give up at this point and go, oh my goodness, I've no idea where this is going? Or would you just keep going? I think keeping going is the answer. Well, it's the answer that I'm going to give anyway. So I hope you've enjoyed it so far. I hope it might encourage you to get your embellisher out, as one or two people have said to me, you know, I've had my embellisher in the cupboard and I haven't had it out, and now you're encouraging me to do that, and I just think that is wonderful. If you haven't got an embellisher, as I say, you could be doing this with pieces of fabric. You'd obviously have to pin them on or find some way to sort of adhere them to your base. And you know, and then stitch into them from there. Everything's possible. If you've got where there's a will, there's a way, and if it's what you want to be doing, you know, get on with it. That's what I say. Enjoy it and play, and don't worry too much about what it's going to look like. So I've got more colours in here just to remind you what else was in the mix. So I think we'll be a bit excited to see what's going to happen, whether these colours are going to be added in next week. Who knows? Would you add those in? And would you add those in? You know, who knows? Let me know what you think of it so far, as I say, and I just, again, grateful for you being here. Thank you for accompanying me on this journey. I wish you were all here, obviously, but a comment would be lovely. Just let me know what you think. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know where you are in the world, what's happening in your creative space. It's wonderful. I just love connecting with you all. So thank you very much again. I hope you'll have a very peaceful week, and just get creating, and I'll see you again next time in my studio. Bye for now.
Bye bye.